2 shots last night, 3 tonight. But it seemed like you guys really earned the win tonight with the third period tonight. So could you just talk about how proud you are of the defensive effort and then earning that victory tonight?
Yeah, I think our defensive effort's been really good for a while now. I think we understand the value of that. We're playing to our identity that way. And just to sort of go on that is, like, offense can come and go, right? And you can have a full lineup, half a lineup, three-quarter, whatever. You just run into some teams that are checking well, or the puck's not going your way, or goaltending. So you need that foundation, and I think that's what I'm proud of, is our defensive foundation hasn't wavered just because we're having a little – now, we've won some of those games, but we're having a little – it's not going in as easily. So good for the guys. Defense usually leads to good offense. We know that. We've seen it. We've lived it. And you got to hang in there sometimes. The goals might come later. They might come early. It seemed like earlier in the year they're coming early. Now they're coming late. Thursday they didn't come at all. So like you're going to go through different things. And Minnesota's a very good defensive team. The Rangers are fighting to get themselves back in it, and they go into, they played the game against Jersey. They played good D, so we knew they would be tighter. So that's where we're at right now. And we'll take that show on the road, hopefully, where we check well and stay with it kind of every period or shift after shift, the same mindset. And you always believe there's enough offense in the room. I believe that. Jack's kind of a late illness scratch, and we have lots of guys there who can still bring it offensively. Stoney missed time. Carly at the start. Barbie's been out. He was our leading goal scorer till tonight, right? So there's enough. There's enough in there if we can check well.
What is it about this organization that they're able to develop guys who are able to step into roles like you have Brett Howden having a career year? Keegan Kolesar gets double digits for the first time tonight. Your leading goal scorer is a guy who's playing his first full season in the NHL. Why are you guys able to put guys in a position where they succeed in stepping into more prominent roles?
All coaching. Just seeing if everyone's paying attention. Ashley's not. She's on her phone. Listen, they've identified talent here from day one. Way ahead of the curve, right? The original selection process allowed them to be very good right away. So they've done it from day one. So that's George and Kelly and their staff have found players. I see the pro scouts sometimes when they're here. They're out there grinding every day, looking for that player that they could be a good fit. There's always conversations along the way. Where do you see your team going? At least when I'm here. Before that, I assume they have the same conversations. What do you feel you could use to whatever? And then the amateur guys, well, they're the glue, right? They're always out there. Now, some of those guys got traded over the years to add, but still, you have to have a valued asset, like an Edstrom, say. He was a good pick, and Edstrom, I think I'm saying his name right, but it turns into Hurdle for us, and et cetera. So guys get moved, so you can acquire these, the talent. So at the end of the day, Calgary, they like Miro Manoff a lot. Now they got a pick too, but it turns into Hanifin. So you have to have identified those guys first, and then come up through the system, and then it's on to us, and we've got to do our part with them. And that's what's kind of happened if you're talking about Howie and Coley, right? They were parts of other organizations. And most of them are just because of the way Vegas came into the league. But since then, Pav is not. He's homegrown. You take Hag and White Cloud, they're homegrown. So there's enough of them here, and there'll be more and more as the organization gets on in years. But good for the amateur and the pro guys for identifying not only the talent, but are they a Golden Knight fit, right? Sometimes there's certain fits, and what's your identity? How do you want to play? And then finding those guys. So they've done a good job. I think the messaging's been good from the top, and what they're looking for, and they've gone out and when they've been able to do it, they've done it, and that's credit to the Krim too for going to get the deal done, right? It's not as easy as it looks. You don't just phone someone up and say, hey, you know what I mean? There's a lot of moving parts, I believe. I'm a coach, not a GM, but been around long enough to know that it's not that easy.
Go Danny, then Jack.
Hey Bruce, Danny Webster, Las Vegas Review-Journal. It looked like you switched Pavel with Olofsson going into the 5-on-3. What was the reasoning behind it? Obviously, it ended up working, but what was the reason you...
Gut instinct, Pav's a shooter. You know, he's played that position when Olofsson was out, so to me, they're very interchangeable. So I just felt like, let's give Pav a shot. Our power play's been good, not great, and maybe some guys that were on it before that top unit will be a little hungrier, and they'll I don't know, that's all it was. And he happened to finish, so good for him. He can finish, and I'm sure we'll toggle back and forth as we go along here, but right now it worked out well.